It's no longer an escalation. This is full-blown war that's playing out as a result of US and Israel hammering parts of Iran this morning. And since then, Iran has gone all out, targeting US bases across the Gulf, firing non-stop missiles at Israel as well. Here on India Today, we're getting you every single one of those updates coming in. Those are the images on your screens of what's played out through the day now. This is no longer just about Iran, Israel and America. We've been seeing explosions ripping through some of the biggest cities of the Middle East, with Iran saying very clearly they will not back off, targeting US bases, any base that's within their range. And that's why we're seeing multiple explosions taking place across the Middle East as well. What will lead to, in fact, this theater of war ending, or is it only going to expand further? Is there any possibility of mediation, or will this only end when there is a regime change in Iran, as US and Israel want? Let's get you more breaking news that's coming in. Hezbollah now has issued a statement saying they too will attack US bases. Not really surprising, considering Hezbollah, right after the attack on Iran, started firing missiles at Israel. Even as that's happened, we can also confirm for you that more explosions have been heard in Abu Dhabi. Very close to Abu Dhabi airport as well, there have been reports of explosions. One casualty has already been reported as a result of the missile strikes in Abu Dhabi. In Doha of Qatar, sirens have been blaring for the last many hours. People have been told to go into shelters, to remain safe, to not be near the windows of their homes. And that's because there have been explosions constantly being heard in Doha as well. Hamas has issued a statement condemning US and Israel aggression in Iran. And the reason we highlight what Hamas, Houthis or Hezbollah is saying is because it gives you a sense of all the players involved and how this continues to escalate further and further, with more missile strikes, with more attacks taking place across the Gulf countries. And as we get you the latest updates of what's playing out and the reactions coming in, remember there have been multiple condemnations also of the escalation that's happened. Donald Trump, US President, is expected to speak later today in another statement following his 8-minute detailed address that he had put out on social media. But let's also play out for you, why is Iran at this point going ahead in attacking left, right, center every US base? It's because they want that this time around they will not sit back while they're attacked. Just days ago, India Today scooped that mega global exclusive with Abbas Araghchi, who is in fact the Iranian foreign minister. He made it very clear that while Iran is for peace, if there was any provocation by US or Israel, Iran would hit back hard. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. Let's get and let's take a look at an excerpt of that exclusive conversation with Geeta Mohan.
What do you think is the motivation that brings Trump to a position where he's so anti-Iran? Where does this come from? Does it stem from Israel, the ally?
Well, it's a long story, I have to say. Everything began from the Islamic Revolution in Iran. I think Americans failed to understand why it happened. So they started, hostility against that. So in the past 47 years, we have been the subject or the victim of their hostility against us. And they have tried everything. They tried coups several times. They helped Saddam Hussein to impose an 8-year war against us. Last year, another war, all kinds of sanctions, maximum pressures policy, and they failed. All of them, they failed. Why? Because they have no, real information about Iran and Iranian people. And they are fed with, misinformation campaign, mostly by, Israeli lobbies. So I believe that the only solution to talk is to talk with the Iranian people with the language of respect. And if they try that language, they will see the result, that we would also talk with them with the same language. But if they want to use pressure, language of force, then the result is as we see. So let's hope that we can change the approaches and come to a better way of dealing with each other.
And that's what's led to this all-out counterattack by Iran as a response to the US's operation, which is called Operation Epic Fury, and Israel's operation, which is called Operation Roar of the Lion. Let's be very clear that these are ongoing operations right now. Both US and Israel have made it very clear that any counterattack by Iran would lead to further fresh strikes by them. And considering Iran has already responded and has already resorted to these kind of counterattacks, you're going to see this rage on for the next many days, not hours, but days. EU has stepped in saying we're willing to mediate, but is there really a possibility of mediation when there are so many countries, so many sides involved? On your screens right now are images from Iran of a school. Iran says the strikes by US and Israel led to a school being targeted in which 36 students have died. Now, remember, Israel and US in their statements repeatedly said that our war and our operation is not against the people of Iran, but that is against the Iranian regime. And so they said they've only targeted the official bases, commanders of the Iranian army, their establishments. But images on your screens of a school that's faced the brunt and borne the brunt of this particular strike. Iran says 36 students have died as a result of the strike. I will highlight, however, that the information that's trickling in from both sides, whether it's Iran or Israel, should be taken with a pinch of salt, because in a war, narratives matter. Narrative building and ensuring that you send out a message about brutalities by the other country. So while this is what Iran maintains, we will attempt to also independently verify whether a school truly was hit and whether 36 students have died. As far as Israel is concerned, they've maintained that they only hit military establishments. They've targeted commanders, including the supreme leader of Iran, Khamenei's residence.